Hello, this is Jeff from E-mini Edges. In today's video, I want to go over a mean reversion type technique to look at our 5 different markets. We are looking in previous videos at trend following techniques. What I'm going to bring up here is a daily ES chart going back to 2000. What I first want to put in here is an indicator. This is our typical indicator that all of us are well aware of, RSI, but I've changed the period to a 2-period RSI. A 2-period RSI there's been a lot written about it, and it's been used quite a bit as a fantastic mean reversion type indicator. Again, this is an oscillator. When you reach an extreme, you would fade it. So like up here, you would go short. Down here, you go long. What this is opposite of our trend following. As we get these extremes in price movements, we fade those. What I want to do is create a simple system that's going to look at a 2-period RSI, and it's going to go long only. So when the price, or excuse me, when the RSI reaches an extreme value of 5 or lower after going through the RSI calculation, it's going to go long. Now to exit, what I'm going to do is also use a 5-period simple moving average as an exit point. So once price closes above that 5-period moving average, it's going to exit the trade. Also, I'm going to create another filter because we're going long only. I'm going to insert a 200-period moving average as designated by this thick white line, which just kind of gives us an overall indication of where the market is on a longer term. And if price is above this 200-period moving average, then we'll allow the RSI system to take its trades. Otherwise, if price, such as this example, is underneath it, we're not going to be doing any trading. So let's put this mean reversion system on and see what we get. So again, I bring up an example here. You can see as it was underneath the 200-period moving average, we're not doing anything. But as soon as it rises above it, as price reaches an extreme on the RSI of 5 or below, we go long. And then as price closes above the shorter term 5-period moving average, we close out the trade. So what does this look like on a performance graph? This system here produces that type of equity curve, and it makes money. It makes $250 per trade, no slippage or commissions, 81% win rate, 22% trades. 22 trades. This, of course, was on ES. What would this look like? Let me just move this over. What would this look like on YM? YM is profitable. Perhaps not as profitable. But if you remember, actually before, let me give up the statistics here. $174 per trade on 20 trades, 70% win rate. Again, this isn't a trading system per se, but it's an indication. And if you will remember, our other system, our trend following system, wasn't making money at all. So what this system is doing is when the market goes low, it buys. And we could see this type of trend following, trend fading system or mean reversion type system is producing well on the stock index futures. Let's first bring up the currency future, the euro. Let's see. Bring up our report. And we get a loser of $325. Equity graph looks like this. Let's try the Japanese yen. equity curve looks like this. Spent most of its time below. Towards the end here it did pop up, giving us a little bit of profit. But nothing like it's the previous system, the trend following system that we used on it. Let's look at the Swiss franc. Now what do you think this one's going to look like? I was surprised. We get 60% win rate, $300, over $300 per trade, and look at that equity curve. Let me bring the summary up. So there we have our summary of our 5 markets using the RSI fading system or mean reversion system. The ES and YM is what I was most interested in, and you can see they made nice profits over those markets, while the currency futures EC and the Japanese yen didn't do so hot. EC, of course, very poor. Clearly a trending clearly it's a trending market. The Swiss franc actually did pretty well on this. I think I have the values here. This is with the trend test, the 50-period trend test. It did $243, and on the RS, it did $327. It's an interesting market. Apparently, it has mean reversion and trend following characteristics that both can be exploited. But my main point was on the stock index futures, demonstrating that they have what we call mean reversion type behavior, where they clearly weren't making money in the previous video where we were following it with a 50-period trend following system. When we use our RS2 fading system, they clearly make money. And the EC likewise is opposite with trending characteristics. And the Japanese yen and Swiss franc are a hybrid of both. So let's keep this information in the back of our minds as we try to develop develop trading systems to work these markets effectively. And that's exactly what this is. These aren't trading systems in themselves. They have no stops. You know, they're very simple. In fact, they're shockingly simple when you think about it. It's basically a couple lines of code. And with a couple lines of code, you're able to produce trading systems that produce over $200 per trade. In itself, it's pretty amazing. But these really aren't tradable in the sense of the way they are now. They're just more or less indicators. But we want to keep this information in mind, and this is a way for us to look at the markets and discover what kind of characteristics can we exploit out of this. So we're going to keep this information in the back of our minds, and we're going to probably refer back to it in the future as we do other videos over the coming weeks and months. We want to exploit this information to our advantage. Thanks, everybody. I just want to remind you that we do have a website, eminiedges.com. On there, you're going to find free easy language code, trading tools, indicators, and even a few trading systems. It's all available for free, and there's a lot of other information in regard to automated trading. Thanks.